What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after a day that almost turned out to be a disaster. That's right. Well, gameplay wise, it's always a disaster, but of course, when we're talking about DSP, the only thing that matters is, of course, money. And it looks like our major whale, IronChefSakai, has finally been able to prestige his wallet, level up. That's right, save some money, save some of those wheelchair donations, and was able to save our boy Phil last night. He came out in a big way last night and made up for the fact that Phil struggled most of the day just to retain a few tips. That's right. So let's see what Phil had to say. And the funny thing is, he doesn't even mention IronChefSakai. That's the interesting part, and I got a lot to say about that. So let's get into it.
And welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Sunday, the 9th of February, 2025. An interesting streaming day. Let's talk about it. It was my return day for the week after having yesterday off. My return day after that crazy 100 goals celebratory marathon that we did on Friday night. And we had a lot to talk about. You know, we recapped the marathon on the podcast and talked about how it looks like Onimusha Warlords will be a new ongoing playthrough of mine. I also told you guys how my neck still isn't recovered and I'm still getting different kinds of shooting pain in my shoulder and neck every single day. And that I actually got a special pillow. I think it's called... it's an orthopedic pillow. I think it's orthopedic or orthopedic. It's one of those, but it's coming. It actually arrived today, and I'm going to sleep on it tonight and see if sleeping properly on a pillow with the correct support will actually help settle my neck back to where it needs to be. We also had a big segment talking about the PlayStation Network outage that happened over the last 48 hours and the repercussions it had, in my opinion, about these gaming networks of Xbox and PlayStation requiring you to have these networks and paying for them to play and have all these features. So that was the podcast. And then the first stream today.
All right, I got to recap that because our boy Phil was a major hypocrite yet again. This is a man who just refused to listen to people. And of course, that's Phil's MO, is don't listen to anyone for years, think you know everything, and then eventually realize, oh, I'm an idiot, what am I doing? Let me change course, and then proceed. And that's the same thing here with console games. How many years did people tell Phil, hey, Phil, get a PC. Hey, Phil, get a PC. Hey, Phil, you could do so much with PC gaming. Hey, Phil, PC gaming is actually cheaper, Phil. It is, because you don't have to pay for the connection. You know, you just use your internet connection. Steam and all of those other platforms are free to use. There's no charge. And games are typically cheaper. They're about $10 cheaper on PC than they are on console. It just is. And for years, his dents told him, hey, bro, get a PC, invest in a PC, stop spending all your money on WWE Champions and get a PC. And of course, finally, after last year, when someone donated PC, Phil finally realized, oh, PC is actually pretty great. That's right, PC Master Race. And now Phil, of course, has become a PC devotee, and everything is so great about PC, and you should listen to him. No one should listen to you, you fucking idiot. You were the idiot who was telling people that PC gaming was dying. Remember that, Phil? Remember that little tidbit where you told people that PC gaming was dying and that in a few years no one would be playing on PC, that console is the way to go? Remember that, Phil? Now this idiot is upset and pissed off that networks like PSN and Xbox charge their users a monthly fee to get online. Yeah, Phil, they got to make some money somehow, right? They got to make money somehow. Xbox has been doing this since Xbox, the original Xbox, or the Xbox 360. This is nothing new, Phil. I guess you feel stupid that you ended up spending God knows how much money every single month to pay just for the privilege to be able to play online games. I guess you realize that. And of course, now he's full force throated and saying, this should be illegal. People shouldn't have to pay to use their network. Bro, you just please don't ever listen to Phil. Whenever Phil has an opinion, it's 9 out of 10 times it's just going to be wrong, or it's going to be late, or he finally realized that the idiot was on the wrong side all of these years, and now, of course, trying to retcon everything. So if you listen to Phil now, PC has always been great. But yeah, this idiot, like 6 months ago, was complaining about PC and how console is the way to go. Get bent, bro. Get bent. So let's keep going.
Was the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. In a nutshell, The graphics were outstanding on PC. It actually ran beautifully at 4K 60 frames per second on my PC. The gameplay elements were sound. I was switching between a ranged cannon and a hammer. There was 4 or 5 big variety of enemies in the DLC, in the beta that were very fun to fight against. I even did some online co-op, jumping in and out of missions and having people jump into my missions. It was good. The only bummer is people did not show up to support the stream. The number of viewers was roughly on average between maybe 300, 350 tops between both streams together. And basically, we were more than halfway through the stream with only about an hour to go. And we hadn't even hit halfway to the goal. And all of the contributions had come in during the podcast. No lie, $4 had come in during the game. And I'm like, for people who really asked for me to try Monster Hunter again a third time, it doesn't seem like many of you care. So a few other people did contribute. And by the end of the stream, we got about $100, but we didn't hit the goal. And quite frankly, it just didn't seem like a lot of people were engaged. Again, half the audience was saying they don't like this game and it's repetitive and grindy. And actually it was, I want to say it was Mortarian, said, just so you know, when you play the real Monster Hunter game, it's not like this beta. In this beta, you're all good to go. But in the real game, you can only fight maybe 1 or 2 enemies, and then you have to level your equipment up. And to do that, you have to repetitively fight those same big monster enemies over and over to grind for components to level up your weapons and armor. If you don't, you can't beat any better enemies. So literally, the game is an endless loop of grind, and the reason people like it is because they team up with friends and parties, and it's more of a social aspect. But as for a solo grinding game, it's an insanely long grind, and it's probably not going to work for your streams or your audience. And I was like, then I guess we're not playing it, Number one, didn't get a lot of attendance, didn't get the support, and people are telling me it's not going to work for my stream types. Now, here's the thing. The game is great. Like, I'm not going to hate on the game. I think it's actually outstanding. It just sucks. It seems like it ain't going to work for me. But you check out the gameplay. It's about 2.5 hours of gameplay. It's live on the channel. Tonight in Street Fighter 6.
All right. So, yeah, your boy Doody... But so I'm playing Monster Hunter. I played the beta, back, and I like it. I think it's potentially could be game of the year. It could be game of the year. It's that good. Is that fun? Is that interesting? I'll give Phil credit here. It is way more fun playing on a team with friends. It is. But sadly, Phil doesn't have any friends or family to play with, right? So okay, I see what you're saying there, Phil. You can still play this game solo and with randos. There's not a fucking problem, Phil. It really isn't a fucking problem. But again, you just refuse to do anything that requires a slight amount of work. I mean, this would be a perfect game to do game nights with your viewers, man. This would be a perfect game for it. But no, not Phil, because that requires way too much work and not enough money. That's right. He ended up getting, I think, $100, and that was only because IronChefSakai dropped like $50, and then like another sub. He ended up dropping like $60. IronChefSakai's, right? Came out, and he didn't whale out. He didn't whale out for some reason. He only dropped about $60. So he was the core amount of his support. He ended up coming last night to the Street Fighter, and I guess his parents left or whatever. He managed to get their credit card, and of course he wailed out on Phil. Phil made about, I would say Phil made about $400 yesterday, right, on stream. And of that, I would say like 80% of those contributions came directly from IronChefSakai. Like, I think yesterday he dropped, what did he drop? He dropped $105 last night. He dropped 60. That's about what? He just about 170 right there. And then he dropped another 20 member bomb. You're talking about another 100. You're talking about nearly like $390 of the 4 something, like the 420 or the 430 that Phil got, came from one fucking whale, IronChefSakai. Like, this should be late. I'm serious. He should change his name. He should change his name from the DSP and from the DSP show or DSP Gaming to DSP and IronChefSakai Gaming, because this Dent is the only one propping this dude up, man. The only guy propping him up. Like, if you're looking at just day-to-day gameplay, like, he's barely scratching his support goals. And it takes literally one person to come in and drop money. The only time he's making pretty decent bank are those marathon streams, like I said. And he's going to start getting desperate for those marathon streams because he knows that IronChefSakai is going to eventually tap out. All of these little, fucking people that come out and wail out for Phil, they ultimately never stick around. They eventually move on. They eventually just bounce. They go somewhere else, you know, whether it's in a week or 2 weeks or a month or 3 months or a year, they eventually go. I mean, the one super dent that we thought would never go away, 1 Minute Man, eventually got tired of Phil's bullshit and left. I mean, it took so many years and a few different usernames, but he finally left. So, yeah, Phil, I'm telling you, you better treat IronChefSakai nicely. Like, you better start doing special favors for him. Maybe give him access to that Discord, make him a mod. You know, just start treating him. Maybe start sending him texts and say, hey man, what games you want me to play? I'll play whatever you want me to play as long as you keep dropping those wheelchair donations, brother. It's getting pretty sad and pathetic. And I love the fact that Phil doesn't even bring it up or fucking mention it. Let's keep going and see if he talks about it on Street Fighter.
The return of Mai Shiranui. And for the first hour, I at first had connection issues for about 20 minutes where my internet kept dropping out, and then it seemed to solidify and not have those issues anymore. So then I said, let's do some more, and I played for about a half an hour. I was on a tear tonight. I think someone was counting, and they were like, yeah, you're like 20-something wins and less than 10 losses. You're whooping everyone's ass with Mai. So basically people were like, will you do your ranked placements tonight? And I said, I don't know. It doesn't seem to make much sense because the internet was bad. But I said, but if you support me, I will. So we did, and we hit my goal. I was like, well, you know what? I'll do it then. If the audience supported me, I'll go ahead and I'll do the ranked placements. I go to do them. And every single match in ranked that I played tonight started at 4 stars and during the match degraded to 3. When I told it to search only for 5-star matches, it wouldn't locate any opponents. What has happened in Street Fighter 6, the entire system has fallen apart because basically the player base has dipped. You know, the game's almost 2 years old, and it will not locate anyone near you with a good connection anymore. So it's basically finding people, you know, that have these weird fluctuating internet connections to me. And I didn't have a single match in ranked tonight that went well. They were all laggy. I'm not kidding. You just watch the footage and you'll see what I mean. It was constantly going up and down like this. Now, I actually did really good for the fact that I got screwed over several matches because of the internet. I still did really good, and I got the maximum possible rating with Mai and started off a 5-star diamond. And then I said, well, let's play a few more. Complete waste of time. Every single set that I tried to play after that was laggy, dropping, freezing, skyrocketing in ping. It was a nightmare. And I said, I'm telling you guys, it's ranked. Because when we were playing in casual earlier tonight, we weren't having this issue. And everyone's trying to give me crap like, oh, no, it's, you know, it's your internet. So I said, to end the night, we're going to do 1 match of ranked. We did 1 match of ranked, 4 bars green, no drops in internet, completely smooth, and I dominated the Ryu, and that was the end of the night. So basically, casual play is where it's at in Street Fighter 6. It looks like the ranked play is almost unplayable at this point. Insanely bad, laggy, dropping connections, which is sad. I did have 5-star diamond, but then I literally couldn't win a single set after because every game was laggy. Again, you can see it for yourself if you watch the footage from tonight. Very unfortunate because it seems like moving forward, the game cannot be played competitively online anymore. They've ruined it. They should have been updating the infrastructure. They should have prepared for a smaller player base. They apparently did not. So now the game is pretty much a waste when it comes to actual competitive play. Now, casual is fine. So we're going to continue to play it. I want to play more with Mai. I would like to get Mai to master. I just don't know how I will ever do it with connections like that. So I guess we'll have to see how it goes. But anyway, we hit the goals. We're now at 8 out of 10 goals. We only need 2 more for DSP tries at Arby's. Hopefully we can hit it tomorrow, and then we can maybe do Arby's on Tuesday. Would be great, okay? So thank you all for a great streaming day. I'm out of here. Everyone have a good night. Tomorrow.
All right, so this was some pathetic nonsense right here. It really is. Phil is just a pathetic-ass person. Now, he's only doing rank if he needs the money. So if you're willing to drop $150, he'll do rank. And that's what happened. IronChefSakai came out last night again and dropped $150 on Phil and got him to play rank. And he played rank and he was fucking garbage. He was garbage. So of course now it's, oh, the lag, the netcode, all the same lame fucking excuses this motherfucker's been touting off for the last 16 years. You're just not that good, Phil. You should just accept it and admit it to your dents. That's the reason why you don't want to play rank, because every time you play rank, your ass gets clapped. Those cheeks get clapped. And you can't take it because apparently Street Fighter is your jam, or you find some value, or you tie your self-worth to this pathetic, boring-ass game. You really do, Phil. That is so sad. That says so much about you. That says so much about you, your character, your self-worth. It's sad, bro. It's really sad. You know, most people, if they're having internet problems while they're streaming, they just cancel the stream and move on. They go do something else. Go chill with their wives. Go have some sexy time. Do something. Not this moron. And of course, you know, he threw out the pity cries and the wailing. And of course, IronChefSakai came out and dropped yet another bomb on Phil and got him to 300 and something bucks. That's right. I'm telling you, Phil, you better start treating him right. You better start giving him the respect and the love you used to give 1 Minute Man. You need to maybe add sir in the front of his name. Because you know what? He's fucking fickle. You know he's fickle. He already bounced once, Phil. Was not to say that you piss him off again and he doesn't leave you high and dry again. Yeah, I'm telling you, Phil, you better do something grand. I would suggest you maybe start doing an IronChefSakai segment and just, you know, heap praise upon him. You better do something. You better do something, because if this guy leaves, man, I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do, man. You're gonna be up Shit's Creek. You're gonna have to be dropping messages to OIC every 10 minutes, and them beg tweets, man, they're gonna be coming out nonstop, bro. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Yesterday was ridiculous, especially with the begging. The begging was just nonstop, and if it wasn't for IronChefSakai coming out and saving essentially both streams, he'd be shit out of luck. Anyway, let's see what happens today. Today should be very interesting. I'm going to be streaming today. Your boy Doody's going to catch up on some Phil. Come hang out. Maybe you'll get a spoon. And going to be handing out some memberships. So hope to see you there. Peace out.